What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, I'm going to give my review of Fargo, Season 3, Episode 2, titled The Principle of Restricted Choice. Sorry, took me... I had a little brain fart for a second there. Sorry about that. Okay, now, so the principle of restricted choice. Now, all of the titles seem to have to do, well, I mean, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them seem to do with some sort of principle or some sort of law, whether it has to do with actual law or science or, something like that. So, it'll be interesting as we go forward to see how the titles relate to the episodes, because they will, and they already do. It's just hard to start to dissect them with only 2 episodes in until you've really seen the story play out a bit. So first off, I'd like to say, if you're not watching this show, you're missing out big time. But of course, if you're watching this video, you're watching the show. So I'm going to do another video for all those people that aren't watching it. Because this show is so fantastic, from the writing to the performances and everything. I know I said it in the last video, and I said it in the Season 1 and Season 2 review, and I'm probably going to say it all season long. But it's the truth. This is one of the best shows on TV on every aspect of storytelling or cinematic production. You know, everything from the acting to the casting to the writing to the directing to the cinematography to the homages they pay to other Coen brothers and other movies that are kind of similar in tone and nature. Okay, that being said, let's talk about each individual plot line real quick. So we have the 2 brothers, right? Emmett and Ray, Stussy. They're still going at it. For a second in this episode, they kind of see eye to eye, and you really feel like they might come to an understanding. And they would have if it wasn't for, the girlfriend there. I don't recall her name. The names will come to me as the season goes, I promise. Okay. And let me just say, Ewan McGregor in these dual roles is absolutely fantastic. Very rare when you see an actor play multiple roles in the same movie, show, whatever. You think of it as that actor playing 2 roles, and the characters don't really feel all that separate. But man, does Ewan McGregor do an awesome job with both of these characters. They feel like real people. They feel like separate individuals, and that's just a testament to the acting and also to the prosthetics on both characters. The rich one, looks like he's had a little bit of plastic surgery there. He's, well-to-do. Sorry, let me just silence this. And the down on his luck brother, the parole officer, Ray, just looks down on his luck. Just as good as Colin Farrell looked in Season 2 of True Detective, but this doesn't compare. Season 2 does not compare to this show at all. But just wanted to give a thumbs up, round of applause to Ewan McGregor for his performance as both of the Stussy brothers. Okay, so, that storyline I thought was going to maybe come to a resolve, at least for a couple of episodes, maybe, that they were going to, start to team up or whatever. But then, once she comes back to the car and starts telling them all this stuff, that she obviously misinterpreted all of it, because the stamp, he didn't replace the stamp. The stamp had to, is in a safety deposit box or something, because the frame had to get fixed. And maybe the stamp is still with the frame. I don't know. And maybe that deposit box is something else. Like, I can see that deposit box being the $1 million plus that Emmett was supposed to pay back to David Thewlis' character. I think I'm saying that right. Thewlis. I said the wrong name in the last video, so apologies for that. I don't know what I said, but it wasn't Thewlis. But I think that maybe the money he's supposed to pay back to Varga, David Thewlis, maybe in that safety deposit box, because, it was like an under the table kind of deal, so that, that's not money they want out in the open or whatever. I can totally see it being that and not being the stamp, because it looked, knowing Fargo and the way it looks, is that she misinterpreted everything, and now she basically started a bigger conflict between the two brothers, which we see later with the diner scene with Michael Stuhlbarg's character Cy, which was great when he gives him, I think it was $50. It might have been 100, and he tells him, this is the last money you'll ever see. And then Ray's giving him the finger twice. He gives him the finger. He actually bangs on the glass while the guy's walking outside to give him the finger again. And I guess that pisses off Cy's character. We don't know much about him yet, so we don't know if he's gangster or not. There's certain points where he feels like a tough guy, and then there's other points not so much, which reminds me of the Fargo movie and the father-in-law's sidekick, where he doesn't really seem like a tough guy, but then there's times where the way the actor presents the character, he kind of feels like he might be a tough guy, like just like older tough guy. But whatever, I like those little nods. Anyway, and then he fucking bangs the car, which is why Ray doesn't have the stamps in the first place, because he feels Emmett conned him out of the stamps and kind of, made him, in a way, tricked him into taking the car instead. And it's kind of funny that Cy, kind of trashes the car. It didn't look too trashed, but trashed enough. He did hit it twice, and then Cy gives him the finger. So that was awesome. I love the humor in this show. The way that they present it in not only a realistic way, but it fits the dark tone, the dark characters, and the dark nature of the world of Fargo. So you gotta love it. All right, and then we'll move over to because it relates to Ray and his girlfriend, and I feel a Blood Simple vibe here. If you've never seen the movie Blood Simple, it's a Coen Brothers movie. I think it was actually their first. And it basically revolves around a guy hiring another guy to kill his wife and her lover. And there's a whole lot of twists and turns and treachery and deceit. And I can totally see that happening with the girlfriend character, because I don't trust her. She's gorgeous, great actress, and I like the character because she's badass, at least so far. But I don't trust her for 1 minute, and I think she's been using Ray all along because he's her PO, and that gives her a lot of room on the leash, so to speak, right? Okay, so yeah, that's where I see that storyline going. I like that whole dynamic between the two of them is great. And I like the bridge stuff so much. It's just so weird and out there and so Fargo. It's so different. Okay, and then we'll move on to VM Varga. Man, David Thewlis is good. Is he as good as Billy Bob Thornton? Too early to say, but he adds this sense of, I didn't really talk about this in the season 1 review, but he adds this sense of fear and comedy a way that Billy Bob did. Because this guy's scary. He's scary looking, from the teeth, just to the way the suits look on him, to the whole way his performance, right? He's just a scary guy. But then he has these funny lines all the time. Like in the first one, they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" And he's like, "America." But he says it with a British accent, which makes it even funnier. And then in this episode, he calls him Mr. Varga. And then he's like, "Please, Cy, call me VM." So he doesn't even tell him his real name. He still uses the initials. I just love the character. He's awesome. And I think I'm going to love his two cronies, too. The Russian dude who well, not Russian. He's Ukrainian. And his name is Yuri. And I thought that was John Krasinski from The Office. I had to look it up on IMDb. It's not John Krasinski. And then the little Asian dude who I don't know, I didn't catch his name. I know it's said, and I watched the episode twice, and I still didn't catch his name. It's strange though, like Meemaw or something like that. So then, yeah, they just fucking, excuse me, sorry. They just bum rush the office and basically take it over. And they bring in all these files and everything. So, they're obviously going to be doing some money laundering and some illegal business from that office. Now, are these guys connected to the criminal families from the previous Fargo seasons? I don't know. I would hope so. I would like to think so. But I pretty much think Billy Bob Thornton might have erased, spoilers for Fargo season 1, might have erased that family from existence. So it's going to be interesting to see who they are and the role that they're going to play is obviously going to be the villain role of the season. And then we have the police officer who, okay, now I think the Ukraine dude, I don't really, maybe the lawyer and the pops, the step grandfather, I believe they're all connected to that opening scene from episode 1 that I did not really talk about in the season 1 review. I don't know how I missed it. It was a great scene. Totally Fargo and totally out of place. But I know it's going to fit together. And all right, so that's obviously in the Ukraine dealing with the problem between the Cossacks and the Jews. And I think that's going to play a big part in this season. And I think Pops maybe was that guy that we saw sitting there getting interrogated. Or maybe he was the officer interrogating him. It was in 1988. And Pops was an old man. So I think it really could have been either one of those guys. But I think it's more likely to be the guy who was being interrogated. But I think that's all going to play a big part into Pops. And something with those books. I don't get it yet. Maybe you guys got it. If you got it, sound off down below. Let me know in the comments. But I don't get the books yet. I know they're going to have deeper meaning. I know they're going to be important. And I know they're going to explain this character of Pops more. But I just don't get them yet. And I can't make heads or tails of those books. I did not Google the titles yet. But I'll probably do that soon. So maybe I'll have a video before next episode about the titles of those books. Sorry, I got this crazy itch on my leg. I don't know. I think I got bit by a spider or something. All right. So that's the 3 main storylines, really, of the show, right? The 2 brothers, the brother and the girlfriend. Well, 4 storylines, because then the other brother and the criminals. And then Carrie Coon's character, who's just fantastic. She's such a good actress. I love her in The Leftovers. If you're not watching that, definitely watch The Leftovers. There's really not as much action and thrills as Fargo, but there's a lot of intrigue, mystery, and fantastic writing and acting. So most fans of Fargo, I think, will like The Leftovers if you give it a chance. All right. Yeah, that's it for this episode. I'm going to downgrade this one a little bit. I didn't think it was as good as the premiere, but it was still really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So we're going to go, I gave the premiere a 5 out of 5. We're going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. Just because things happened. I don't want to say nothing happened, but not much happened. And there wasn't really a lot of excitement. We did get to meet some cool new characters. And whatever. I just felt this one didn't deserve the 5. That's all. All right. That's it for this vid. Sound off down below. Let me know what you thought about Fargo Season 3, Episode 2. Oh, wait. Before I go, there was a few little quick Easter eggs in there. Emmett Stussy is the parking lot king of where they live. Fargo or Minnesota or whatever. And I'm going to do a connections video. I just want to say this real quick. And the father-in-law from the movie Fargo was like a parking lot guy. And then they mentioned Stan Grossman in last night's episode. Stan Grossman is the crony, the sidekick to the parking lot guy, the father-in-law from the movie Fargo. So maybe we'll see him as an older man in this, because this takes place quite some time after Fargo. Or maybe he won't play any role and he was just a name drop. But it's always nice to have those connections to the prior seasons and the movie. Alright, that's it for this vid. I mean it this time. Thanks so much for watching. Sound off down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie, the episode, what you think about Fargo, the show, or the movie in general, what you think about this video. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please help me grow. I can't grow without your help. So if you don't do it for me, do it for the channel. Because I think if I'm able to grow more and get out there more, then I'll be able to put out better content for you guys. And we can really start something great. All right, thanks again for watching. You guys have a great day. And I will see you next time.